Gotta go get some gas. Gotta go get some gas. Then we're gonna road trip with Yogi. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's about all I got. It's very windy out today, so I have jerry-rigged the GoPro again, hoping that I can get some decent audio. It's very nice and sunny. Now yesterday was a whole lot warmer out, and I probably should have went yesterday. Yesterday it was mid-50s, close to 60 maybe, and sunny during the day. Today it's 36, and it's about 11 o'clock a.m. Cold front went through last night. Finally had some good thunderstorm activity. Man, I've been waiting to hear some thunder. Had a pretty good downpour. However, I feel bad for the people in the south right now. Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. They've been getting nailed. Especially like Mississippi. I've been seeing a whole lot of stuff going on there. I mean, it's terrible. Now, unfortunately, it's April, but in October, September and October, this area is beautiful. I'm in the Hubertus Holy Hill area, and yeah, it's really a beautiful area to drive in the fall. And I will come back here and drive in the fall. Kind of taking in the view. I know it ain't much since it's only April, but on the plus side, I only paid 89 cents for gas for a gallon, so that was good. Used my Pick and Save card, saved 20 cents a gallon. Oh, look, it's another curvy road. Where does this one lead us to? Again, just picture this with beautiful changing colored leaves. This is probably one of the most beautiful areas to be in Wisconsin in the fall. And it's close by, so I can come here often. And I could share it with you. Some of the roads are in good shape, some of them not. This one's a little more on the bumpy side. It might be St. Augustine Road too. That's the real curvy one. And there's lots of signs here for curves, so it's possible. Oh, we have a rustic road here. I like traveling rustic roads too, and we have one. So yeah, this is a pretty curvy road as well. St. Augustine Road. This might be the road I was thinking of, the real curvy one. But it's also a really badly paved road. Now I'm on Highway 67 going west. There's a ski hill over here on the right side. Holy Hill's up the road a little ways. There is Holy Hill. Not a whole lot of cars on the state road. This is a state road here. 67. But again, it is a beautiful area. And fortunately, it's not open today. Can't go in there. Like I said, I wasn't going to go in there if I could because of the winds. It's not windy where I am now. But up there, oh yeah. You're so cool, Brewster. And the entrance to Holy Hill will be right around the corner here on our left. But again, it's shut down due to all the fun stuff. There's a sign right there, Holy Hill. Again, it's a beautiful area to be in, but when it's beautiful out here in the fall, it is a mess traffic-wise. Now, right here, the screen building right here on the right is reportedly haunted. How do I know that? Our paranormal group, Paranormal Investigation and Research Society, actually did an investigation here some years back. Interesting story behind that, quick. The gentleman who owns the building owned a couple other establishments. We actually investigated one other one. It was called Madame Bell's Saloon. It's no longer called Madame Bell's. It's changing hands and being turned into a winery or something like that. That's in Richfield. This particular establishment is really old. It's from, I believe, the late 1800s. Somehow we got the call to do an investigation here. The story is, real quick, is that they thought that the cemetery was being haunted by a little girl who's buried in the cemetery next to it. There's a cemetery over here on the right to the right of the bar. The gentleman who lived there at the time upstairs, let's just say he indulged in his alcohol. He loved his alcohol. And there's a cemetery on the left. Was adamant about being being present during the investigation, which is something we generally don't like to do. We don't like to have people there, you know, because we feel it taints the scene. So after talking him down a little bit, he decided, okay, fine, whatever. However, he was very, very drunk that day, and as we're setting the cameras up and we're kind of looking at the monitor to see what kind of angle the camera was at, and all of a sudden he comes running up the walkway area in the basement. It's a really big basement, stone walls and very narrow with paths and stuff. So he comes running up the path, his arms are flailing, and we're like, what is that guy doing? So he comes upstairs and he's like, I was walking by this one area where the condiments are, and a mayonnaise jar flew off the shelf and crashed onto the floor. So we're like, okay, was there anybody with you to verify what you had done or seen? And of course he was by himself, so it's kind of hard to take that evidence on face value when you're dealing with somebody who's under the influence. So then we went down there and looked where the jar of mayonnaise was, and I mean, it was so close to the pathway. It was on a shelf. All he had to do was bump the shelf, or just kind of, as you're walking by, just kind of tap that can or that jar just a little bit so it falls off, and there you go. You have your paranormal activity, quote unquote. When you're paranormal investigating, things aren't going to happen. There are going to be times when you investigate and nothing happens. Well, this gentleman did not take that kindly. He was offended that nothing was going on while we were there, so he decided to take matters into his own hands, and he took a 24-pack of beer, cut one of the longer sides, grabbed a Sharpie marker and a Solo cup, and proceeded to make his own Ouija board. And then went into another room. It was an upstairs kind of party room, and decided to do his own Ouija board session. We had a camera in that room, and we're watching him, and we're just kind of rolling our eyes. We're like, oh my goodness. So anyways, time comes to go upstairs and investigate his apartment. We enter his apartment. He has a mountain of cans, not bagged, but a mountain of cans just sitting there up along a wall. So there was that, and then we went to his living room, and there were paper plates everywhere, garbage everywhere, a pizza that he had either bought from downstairs at the bar or had ordered in, that was all over on paper plates, sitting there rotting for days, weeks, who knows. And he also was, I guess he was an artist, and some of the paintings he had were of like the devil, like El Diablo, that kind of stuff. He had like a Mexican flair to his devil paintings. And so, you know, you put all this together and you think to yourself, well, it's no wonder why the guy's being haunted. If I was a ghost and he was leaving that place a mess like that for me, I'd tell him to clean that crap up and clean that house up. I wouldn't want to live with that either. So yeah, that happened back at the Tally Ho. There is another place that we investigated in Hartford that's coming up that I'll pull into. I guess this is going to be a places we investigated type video. That's a neat little bed and breakfast on the left there. It's the Westfall Mansion Inn. And there is the Pour House, P-O-U-R. I see what you did there. Here's downtown Hartford. There's an ice cream place called Scoop de Ville. They have a Wisconsin Automotive Museum up here on the left, and Shower Arts and Activity Center. Now the Shower is a theater, a couple hundred seat theater, 200, 300 maybe. And before that, it used to be a cannery. And rumor has it that there was a little girl who was visiting, probably one of the owner's daughters, something to that effect. She was visiting and was over by the loading dock area, and somehow a truck backed in and killed her. So there's the Shower Center right there. And on the other side here is the Wisconsin Automotive Museum, which is, I've never been in it, but it looks pretty cool. Kissel. Now the Kissel sign up there, that was a brand of automobile that was actually made here in Hartford. Down the road a little ways, there was this big automotive building. There's a huge factory there now. I don't know if it's the same building. There is a plaque off the road down there that tells you a quick little story about the Kissel manufacturing plant. So yeah, we investigated the Shower Arts Center too. Didn't really have there's a picture that's in a book. A friend of mine, Janie the Couch, paranormal investigator, he's a part of the group, and we're kind of still active. We're kind of active. My sister and I do a ghost tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, a ghost walk. It's like a 90-minute walk, and it's a walk in stories of haunted areas in Appleton. So anywho, there's a book called Washington County Paranormal that my friend Janie the Couch wrote. It is available online. I think it's on his website, janiethecouch.com. The West Bend Historical Society, I think, might actually have copies of it as well. So I gotta hand it to the people at the West Bend Theater downtown. Look at that. Longest intermission ever. Well played, West Bend Theater. Well played. And then on the other side it says, always look on the bright side of life. Which is a Monty Python quote.